Prime Minister leave the country in a huff over the issue of terrorists being allegedly killed by Indian operatives in Canada, and then we had the United States also backing that claim in a way, and apparently a gentleman was threatened in the US.
Yeah.
What does that say?
So, I mean, there are two aspects here. First, I don't blame the government for its irritation with Canada, because there is no doubt that in the name of free speech, the Canadians have given free rein to some extremely dangerous and malicious elements who have been fomenting violence and killings in India. So to that degree, the fact that Canada says it's their free speech right, we are a democracy, you can't tell us, etc., that, on the other hand, I believe, whether we were in power or the BJP was in power, we would have been equally critical that there has to be some limits. And there is a difference between free speech on the one hand and incitement to violence in a foreign country on the other. Having said that, if, as is being alleged, and perhaps the circumstantial evidence is rather damaging anyway, suggesting that India did order assassinations, one successful in Canada, one unsuccessful in the US, then that was extremely poor judgment to begin with. And secondly, it was done very ineptly, because obviously the American thing, even the Canadian thing apparently was traceable to us, and the American thing, there's going to be a court trial which is going to bring out very embarrassing public details that will tarnish our image in the world again. So both of these were highly avoidable. It is one thing to apply such techniques to a country like Pakistan, which does the same and worse to us and to Afghanistan and to others. That, I think, the world will understand that it's an eye for an eye or a tooth for a tooth. But the Americans and Canadians are not going around conducting officially sanctioned assassinations on Indian soil, and it would therefore, unfortunately, not do us very much good. Now, it so happens that we are very useful to the same countries. The US needs India as a potential counterbalance to China, or at least as a sympathizer in its efforts to resist the irresistible rise of China. And the Canadians, whether we like it or not, eventually still are a country hosting 4 million Indians, and they have the largest student body in Canada happens to be Indians. There's a lot of other reasons to connect the two countries. So at the end of the day, both relationships will not suffer, it seems to me, permanent setbacks. But nonetheless, we're going to go through a period of great embarrassment, especially when in a public trial in New York, all these details of the attempted assassination come out. It's going to not look very good for us.
From what you say, it doesn't look like India is going to turn troubleshooter